Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday's Reading the Red. This rainy Wednesday morning. I hope you stay dry. Matthew chapter 13, verse 32. 33. Jesus says another parable. He spoke another parable to them. He says, the kingdom of heaven is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 peaks of flour until it was all leavened. So the concept of leavened into the bread is like the contamination of the bread in order for the bread to do something different when there's no leaven. Israel was given instruction when they left Egypt to eat unleavened bread because it took time for that to rise, and they needed to take bread that was unleavened. They didn't have the time. They was going to be going out. They couldn't stay in. And this sense of the contamination of leaven in the bread, Jesus used this parable to explain what leaven does to everything it gets into. And the idea that leaven is spreading through whatever is like when sin gets into your life and it spreads through, or you get caught up in a vice or a behavior pattern, and you just find yourself, this thing just starts to, in effect, evade every aspect of your life. Fear will often do that. Leaven is like poison. It's unwholesome and unhealthy. And in fact, leaven is like fungus, actually. It's like something that grows inside and contaminates. And it causes the bread to rise, which makes yummy bread. But the reality is that Jesus uses this example of leaven. And he says the kingdom of heaven is like leaven in flour, or in a lump of dough that a woman took, because it got contaminated into the dough, and that would cause that thing to rise. And when poison gets into an individual, or poison gets into, in this case, the kingdom of God or kingdom of heaven, which is a representation of the kingdom, is the church. We're saying when leaven gets into the church, it will contaminate, it will bring about destruction. But that's true for a family, that's true for a nation, that's true for anything, an individual or the whole world. When sin came into the world, it contaminated, as it were, the world, because it grows and it spreads and it destroys. And hatred begets hatred, and death begets death, and war begets war. And there's a sense in which the unrighteousness, the poison that comes into the land because the leaven has got in. That's why it's so important to take every thought captive, because a thought can be like leaven that gets into your head and begins to worm away all of the security and strength and the values that you have regarding life. You need to make sure that you, as it were, wear the helmet of salvation, or you hold up the shield of faith against leaven getting into you. Because all day long, whether it's through advertising or what people say or experiences we have, there will be many enemies like sin, leaven, trying to get into us, trying to invite us to their party, which isn't really a party at all, but it's more like a sort of a nightmare. We need to protect ourselves from all of the leaven. Beware, be mindful of what you take on board into your head and into your heart, because it will contaminate if it gets into you. Have a great day, be blessed, be protected, and I'll see you tomorrow.